Trump just moved 2 U.S. nuclear submarines closer to Russia. Why now? Oh, yes, you heard me right. 2 Ohio-class giants, each nearly 170 meters long, like 2 football fields of steel, carrying enough nuclear firepower to wipe dozens of cities from the map. And this comes days after Dmitry Medvedev threatened nuclear retaliation over Ukraine. Coincidence? And now, Trump has met Putin in Alaska, adding an icy layer to an already hot standoff. Or is something else lurking beneath the surface? An act of pure escalation or the shadow of a secret pact? Here's the dive plan. First, we'll look at the Flashpoint moment, how this all started. Then, the official story we're told. Next, the whispers about what might really be happening. We'll go deep, way back in history, to see how leaders have played this game before. We'll uncover why submarines aren't just weapons, they're political chess pieces. And finally, we'll ask the big question, is there already a deal in motion? No, we're not starting World War III, at least, not yet. It starts with Medvedev, Russia's former president, warning the West about nuclear retaliation if Ukraine crosses certain lines. The threat was blunt. Within days, Trump orders 2 U.S. Ohio-class nuclear submarines to move closer to Russian waters. These aren't patrol boats. Each one carries up to 24 Trident 2D5 missiles, submarine-launched ballistic missiles with a range of over 7,000 kilometers. And each missile can carry multiple independent re-entry vehicles, MIRVs, meaning one launch could hit several targets at once. Do the math, and you're looking at the potential for hundreds of warheads. The move was fast. No speeches, no public warnings, just silent steel slipping into position. And the Pentagon? Not a word beyond the barest confirmation. It's like playing poker, raising the bet to the ceiling, and never blinking. This wasn't an exercise. These were active, nuclear-armed subs. The kind you don't deploy unless you want someone somewhere to take notice. But that's what you see. What about what you don't see? The official story? Predictable. Sanctions stay, diplomacy continues, no new treaties, no concessions. Reporters get the familiar lines, we will stand firm, we will defend our allies, we will respond to threats. Strong words, but nothing in writing. On the surface, it's the same old standoff, no handshake, no peace, no open war. But now, with Trump and Putin shaking hands in Alaska, the public narrative feels even more like a stage play. Polite smiles in front, a chessboard behind the curtain, and the media plays along, filling the news cycle with maps, stern photos, and expert panels that tell you exactly nothing new. But history loves to hide its biggest moves under the table. Think back to 1941. The U.S. and Japan were negotiating peace even as their fleets prepared for Pearl Harbor. Smiles in public, and torpedoes in the water. The public sees the facade, the handshakes, the photo ops. But behind the curtain, that's where the real script is written. So yes, everything looks normal. If your idea of normal is 2 nuclear subs cruising within range of Moscow's military command centers. Now, let's whisper. Some analysts believe these submarines aren't just about power projection. They're messages. Not in words, but in coordinates. A way of saying, we see you. We expect you to keep your part of the bargain. If there is a bargain. And if there isn't, then it's a warning. This style of communication is older than modern warfare. In the 16th century, rival kingdoms might fight bloody battles in public, while their kings quietly exchanged envoys at night to agree on secret truces. Napoleon? He'd often talk to enemy commanders hours before ordering the guns to fire, testing whether a quick understanding could be reached. Submarines are the perfect modern version of that silent language, because they're invisible until they choose not to be. When an Ohio-class suddenly appears on the edge of your radar net, it's not an accident. And if that appearance happens just as the 2 leaders meet in Alaska, that timing alone could be the message. It's a sentence in a diplomatic language only a few people in the world can read. Sometimes it says, back off. Other times, we have a deal. Don't break it. A submarine can be a peace treaty, without the paper. At Yalta in 1945, Roosevelt, Churchill, and Stalin redrew the post-war map of Europe in a private room. No cameras, no leaks. Just quiet agreement over who would control what. During the Cold War, submarines from both sides played an endless game of hide-and-seek beneath the oceans, sometimes tailing each other for days without surfacing. It wasn't just military, it was political theater, performed in complete darkness. In 1962, during the Cuban Missile Crisis, a Soviet sub-captain named Vasily Arkhipov refused to launch a nuclear torpedo, even as his crew thought war had already started. That one decision may have saved the planet, and the public? They learned the full story decades later. History is full of these invisible moments, the kind you only see when the archives finally open. And like then, today's moves might be meant more for the other side's eyes than for ours. We might not understand the playbook now, but years from now we may look back and say, oh, that's why they did it. A nuclear submarine is stealth, patience, and raw power inside a steel shell. You can't see it, you can't hear it. It can disappear for months, then reappear exactly where it wants to be. That silence is deafening. It's a medieval parade in modern form, like knights in shining armor riding past a rival castle saying, "We're here, we could fight, but not yet." Or in 21st century terms, it's like parking a tank right outside your neighbor's house, but underwater. Every course change is deliberate, every port call, every patrol line. It's part of a sentence written without ink. During the Cold War, a sub showing up in the Norwegian Sea or near Alaska could shift diplomatic talks by weeks, because when one of these giants moves, everyone notices, even if nobody admits it in public. In that sense, submarines aren't just weapons, they're political actors, and right now, they're on stage. Here's the wild card. What if these submarines aren't meant to provoke Russia, but to guarantee an understanding? In the Cold War, superpowers marked red lines, silent agreements about what each side would and wouldn't do. Cross one, and you'd get an instant, undeniable response. Sometimes that response was military. Other times, it was just the sudden appearance of a ship or a bomber, a warning shot without the shooting. Trump might be playing from that old book. The subs could be saying, "You keep your promise, we keep ours." Or, maybe it's a bluff, a giant billion-dollar poker chip sliding across the table. The thing is, bluff and deal can look exactly the same. And until the truth comes out, if it ever does, we'll all be left guessing. So, escalation or hidden diplomacy? A step toward peace? Or a shift to silent, more dangerous warfare? And maybe, years from now, we'll look back and see Alaska as the place where more was decided than anyone admitted at the time. If you like uncovering the stories they never tell you, hit subscribe, drop a like, and ring that bell, so you never miss what's hiding under the headlines. If you think you've seen it all, wait until the next move. History loves secrets. Stay curious.